Hello, hello, and welcome back to the Straight A Nursing Podcast. I'm Nurse Mo, and as always, I'm really happy that you're spending your free time, your commute time, your walk-in time, your load in the dishwasher time, whatever it is. I'm happy that you're spending it with me, and I'm really excited about this episode. So this is mini episode number 2 of 5, where we're diving into a success-related topic as part of the Say Yes to Success mini-series sponsored by ATI. So ATI are the makers of the TEAS exam, as well as in-depth resources to prepare students for NCLEX and the world of nursing. So for 5 weeks, we're releasing a new mini episode each Monday. So make sure you're following the podcast and following me on Instagram for some great giveaways and discounts, which I'll talk about more when we get to the end of this episode. So again, a huge thank you to ATI for sponsoring this episode to help you do better on this really important entrance exam for nursing school. So I'll be sharing with you today 3 key things to know about the TEAS exam. So the number one thing to know about the TEAS exam is that each school is going to manage the exam differently. So you definitely want to check with each school you're applying to confirm their requirements for the TEAS exam. Again, they're all going to probably do it a little bit differently, so don't assume anything. This is not an area where you want to mess things up. So some key differences from school to school could be things like just basically how you even register for the exam. The deadline for when you need to take the exam, that's a big one. Where the exam is taken, sometimes it's at the school, sometimes it's at a testing center. The number of attempts that you can have can vary from school to school. Some schools will let you take it a few times and take the best score. Some schools just take your first attempt. There's also differences in how long you have to wait between your attempts on the TEAS and, of course, that minimum score that you need to be eligible for consideration. Now, to make it really easy for you to track different TEAS exam criteria, I've actually created an ATI TEAS tracker spreadsheet for you that you can get by visiting straightanursingstudent.com/TEAS tracker, TEAS tracker. So if you go there, check that out. You can download that spreadsheet. So the next thing to know, number 2, about the TEAS exam is that it actually has a purpose. I know it can feel like you're jumping through all these hoops to get into nursing school. It's kind of a big process, right? But schools use the TEAS exam for a reason. I would put it right up there with your anatomy and physiology and your microbiology prerequisites. It's that important. And that's because statistically, students who do well on the TEAS exam do well in nursing school. By preparing for the TEAS exam, you're essentially setting yourself up for success in your program. It refreshes your foundational science knowledge. It refreshes your basic math skills and even your reading comprehension, which if you don't realize how important that is for nursing school, you're going to be in for a bit of a shocker. There's a lot of reading, and you definitely need to be able to read and understand what you're reading. So to do your best, and I want you to do your absolute best on this important exam, ATI recommends giving yourself at least 6 weeks to prepare. So definitely not waiting till the last minute, not trying to throw together a study plan in the 4 days prior to your TEAS. Give yourself a really nice gift of time and 6 weeks at least of preparation. And I think it goes without saying that cheating on this exam is cause for having your score invalidated and would probably completely negate your chances of getting into nursing school. And if you think it doesn't happen, it happens. So do the prep, study really hard, and you'll be setting yourself up for success with this crucial entrance exam. Because you're listening to this podcast, I know a thing or two about you. I know that you are a dedicated student, and I know that you're willing to put in the effort to be the best student and nurse you can be. But it can sometimes feel a bit overwhelming. I know, I've been there, which is why it's so nice to have ATI at your fingertips. From passing the TEAS exam and getting accepted into a nursing program to graduating and passing the NCLEX, ATI is your go-to resource for anything and everything you need for nursing school. Now, for many of you, you're going to a program that uses ATI. If your school does, they have done you a huge favor. In 2020, schools that used ATI had NCLEX pass rates that were 5.8% higher than schools that didn't, and that is huge. And ATI helps you throughout nursing school too. In fact, ATI has helped more than 2 million nursing students graduate and administered more than 12 million assessments since the year 2000. So they kind of know what they're doing. Now, I went to a school that used ATI, and honestly, I felt so prepared, not only each semester, but when I took my NCLEX as well. And that's because the materials they produce are top notch. They have more than 300 nurse educators on staff. So their ATI products and resources are carefully designed to actually help nursing students and set you up for success in life as a nurse. And if you're new to all this and trying to get into nursing school, then you may need to take the ATI TEAS entrance exam, and they've got you covered for that as well. They really are with you every step through nursing school. Learn more at atitesting.com. You can get official exam information about the TEAS and a ton of information about how ATI can help you get through nursing school and pass your NCLEX. That's atitesting.com. Now, the third thing to understand about the TEAS exam is that not all TEAS exam prep is created equal. So as you're looking at exam prep, I want you to look critically at the makers of the exam prep and how well it's going to prepare you for the TEAS exam. Now, there's a lot of TEAS exam prep books out there. There's even TEAS prep things on Etsy and other third-party websites. But honestly, if I were going to do it again, and this is exactly what I actually did when I took the TEAS, was I went straight to the source. I went right to the ATI TEAS prep materials and used those to prepare for the exam. And you know what? I got a high enough score. I got through nursing school, obviously, and here I am today. So my thinking was, who am I going to trust? Some person I don't know who may or may not even be qualified to do any kind of teaching, or am I going to trust the people who actually make the exam? I'm going with the people that make the exam. They're going to guide me in the best way. Now, you may not realize this now, but as you go through nursing school, you'll realize that when you have practice questions, when you have exam prep materials, when those things are effective, it's because they're very closely aligned with the content that you'll actually be tested on, and only ATI knows what those questions are. So by doing ATI practice exams, using their materials, you actually get a really good feel for what the actual TEAS exam will be like, including how many questions in each section, the type of questions, and just a general overall feel for what the actual exam will be like. And trust me, it feels real good to walk into a high-stakes exam like that already feeling like you kind of know what to expect. So, for me, that helps me keep my test anxiety way under control. And I definitely don't want that anxiety to take over and start driving as I'm going through a crucial exam. So if you're applying to nursing school and the schools you're applying to require that TEAS exam, you definitely want to prepare and do well on it. Don't be waiting till the last minute. Don't be using some flim-flam resources. and make sure you understand each school's individual requirements. And that TEAS tracker that I will put in the episode notes will help you with that. And ATItesting.com is going to help you with everything else. They've got so many great TEAS prep materials. So I want to thank ATI for sponsoring this mini episode and for generously offering a discount for you, plus 2 comprehensive study packages that I will be giving away. So for details on how to enter to win one of those comprehensive TEAS study packages, go to my Instagram @straightanurse and find my post with the words "Enter here to win ATI giveaway number 1." Comment there with the approximate date of your TEAS exam, and you'll be entered. You don't have to have an exact date. If you know you're taking it spring of 2023, that's fine. The approximate date of your TEAS exam. I'll take entries through November 22nd, 2022 at 8 a.m., and then I'll announce the winner an hour later. Now, how about that discount I mentioned? When you purchase $50 or more in ATI TEAS prep materials or packages, you can get 15% off when you use code SAN15. That's SAN15. And I'll put that in the episode notes as well. So go to ATItesting.com to explore all the ways ATI is there for you to help you prepare and score big on your TEAS exam. Now, I will be seeing you back here next week on Monday for part 3 of our special Say Yes to Success series sponsored by ATI. See you then. This podcast is brought to you by Straight A Nursing.